Hey everybody, it's Mike. I suspect many of you don't know, I am the product of two shrinks. Both of my parents are licensed psychologists, and I have spent a lot of time over the last few weeks on the phone with them, on FaceTime with them, seeking advice. Not for myself this time, but on behalf of people I know, whether it is players inside of our softball organization, whether it is friends, whether it is children of friends, asking about how they can cope with what's going on in the United States right now. And as we all know, U.S. workers are worried. They're scared. Why? Because American citizens are worried and they're scared. There's so much happening in the U.S. right now that is disturbing. There's so much tumult. There's so much confusion. And yeah, let's say it, there's just so much hate. And our employees, they are not robots. They see what's happening around them. They fear that it may be happening to them next. And they feel the emotion that is attendant to that kind of concern. And I've been incredibly gratified because I've had a number of human resources professionals and an equal number of organizational leaders over the course of the last few weeks reach out to me and say, I want to help. I'm having employees come to me and disclose this fear and this concern, and yes, mental health issues, and I just don't exactly know what to say or exactly know how to respond. So what I want to talk about today are 4 actions we can take as leaders when an employee shares with us this kind of mental health concern. But where I want to start is with 4 actions we should not be taking as human resources professionals, as organizational leaders, when somebody comes to us with a mental health concern. Number 1, please do not minimize it. Understanding that no two of us have had the exact same experience on the planet, in this country, throughout the course of our lives. Do not minimize what somebody else may be feeling. And we know the statements that come out of really sort of fundamentally flawed leaders' mouths in this kind of situation. Well, you know, it's all in your head. It's not real. You're exacerbating the concerns inside your own mind. You need to just take a breath. It's all going to be fine. That minimizes massively the way somebody feels. We all have problems. You know, you're just going to have to deal with these. They're no more important than mine or anybody else's. Marginalizing the importance of this mental health concerns. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Things will get better. This will pass, which fundamentally misunderstands the human condition. So number 1, we cannot minimize the importance of what this person is saying to us. We don't want to pass the buck. We don't want to just say to the employee, listen, this is above my pay grade. You need to go talk to human resources about this. We need to lead with empathy and kindness and understanding and listening. When we pass the buck and just say, you got to go talk to HR or you have to go talk to someone else, essentially what the employee is going to hear is, you don't care. Number 3, we can't ignore it. Pretend that it didn't happen. Go about your day-to-day with this employee as though that disclosure or as though that conversation didn't take place. And finally, and you've heard me mention this before in a number of different videos, stop with the nonsense of the reliance on the notion of back in my day. Well, you know, back in my day, we didn't have these mental health concerns. Back in my day, I picked myself up by my bootstraps, I rubbed some dirt in it, and I made myself all better. First of all, no, you didn't. That's an absolute fallacy. You may have ignored the mental health concern that you had, but you didn't pick yourself up by your bootstraps. You were born on third base and think you hit a triple. All of us have these kinds of issues. What do we not want to do? What must we avoid in situations like this? Do not minimize the importance to the employee. Do not pass the buck and say, this is not my job. Do not ignore it in the coming days and weeks and months. And please lose the idea of, well, it wasn't important some years ago and therefore it's not important now. It was important then. It was just ignored. So what should we do? What can we do? What must we do when an employee comes to us and makes this kind of hyper-personal disclosure? Number one, first and foremost, we have got to listen. To steal a phrase from the kids, we got to lock in. We have to make sure when an employee comes to us with a disclosure of this nature that we are completely focused on the dialogue that is taking place. We have to show compassion. We have to show kindness. We need to listen intellectually, compassionately, empathetically, and we need to listen non-competitively, which is to say we don't interrupt, which is to say we don't start formulating our response to what they're saying while they are still talking, because the moment we start doing that is the moment we stop listening. To the extent you have devices upon which you are reliant from moment to moment, shut them off. Turn your notifications on your phone off. Turn your notifications on your watch off. Shut your monitor down so that when these notifications come in, you're not like me and in a Pavlovian way, you just kind of go like that. You've stopped listening. At least that's the message you're communicating. Number one, what do? We lock in. We listen non-competitively, intellectually, compassionately. Second, we need to respond to what this employee is saying in a meaningful and in a thoughtful way. This is about as personal a disclosure as someone can make to you. They are looking for you to say something, to do something in response. Simply sitting there with a blank face is not going to help them. That is not to say we interrupt. We don't. We listen intently. And based on the disclosure that has been made, the information that has been provided to us, we respond to that employee in a way that is meaningful, that is thoughtful, and hopefully that is helpful. That's during the meeting. What do we do following the meeting? 2 more steps. Number one, we do have to let HR know. That is not passing the buck because we've engaged initially, but we do need to let human resources know about the conversation that we just had with this employee, because there may be organizational obligations under the Family Medical Leave Act, under some state or local leave law, and certainly potentially under the Americans with Disabilities Act or a similar state or local disability statute. Now, what if the employee says to you, listen, I don't want you to do anything with this information. I'm just telling you as a friend, I want you to keep this off the record. We cannot honor those requests. Off the record, that's a fiction. Off the record, that's not a thing. You're not reporters. You're organizational leaders. We have obligations to the organization to make sure we let the appropriate person know. And frankly, we have obligations to this employee to let those people know, even though they ask us not to, because there are entitlements that this employee may have about which they are not even aware. And until and unless we let HR or the person or people with the HR function know about this disclosure so that they can do their HR thing, we've not done our job. So we're going to let HR know. And finally, we want to follow up with the employee. And there are employment lawyers like me out there who will say, no, you got to be careful because we don't want to invade their privacy and we don't want to ask a question that may implicate the ADA. The ADA is already implicated. And from my perspective, when somebody makes a disclosure of this nature to me, I owe them something. I want to make sure I continue to follow up. I'm going to have what some people will say is a legally inadvisable conversation with this employee that starts with, are you okay? What can I do to help you? How can I be of service to you in any way? We're living in times that are complicated. We are living in times that are confusing. We are living in times that for many are just plain scary. As leaders, when somebody makes a disclosure of this nature to you, we listen. We respond meaningfully, thoughtfully, and intellectually. We let HR know so that the employee is able to avail themselves of the entitlements that they may have, and we continue to follow up to make sure the employee is okay, and if they are not okay, let them know that we are there to help them. Thanks so much, friends. As always, I so truly appreciate your watching, appreciate your commenting, appreciate your sharing. Hope to see you real soon.